I recently saw an interview with Gary Vaynerchuk, and he was sharing his opinion on how he feels artificial intelligence is going to impact the future of work. Take a listen to this clip, and I will give my opinions and thoughts on it afterwards.
This is the thing with AI. It's kind of like the tractor. When the tractor came out, there was a lot of conversation in society many, many years ago that this was bad because 83% of people in the world worked on farms. What people didn't understand was the tractor was going to allow people to do bigger and better things. This hysteria at worst, or curiosity at best, of what is this going to mean? Is this bad? Are people going to be replaced? The answer is yes-ish. You know, don't forget, somebody that feels like they're about to get replaced by AI to make creative works in Photoshop. The people that got good at Photoshop replaced the people that used to draw on paper. But the person that drew on paper was allowed to learn Photoshop. And so this concept that that robots are going to replace everyone here, that also could be in play. But the current state of what AI tools are being built and what they're going to do is they're going to rejigger the field. Much more than they're just going to outright replace everyone. Everyone's going to be looking at each other and we have a major problem. Could there be certain things? Of course there can. When Amazon innovated, that really hurt local bookstore owners.
Yeah.
You know, when Uber came along, that changed the game for people that own medallions in New York City, right? There will be certain things that happen that are really a big deal. But that's just the ebb and flow of everything. I mean, when supermarkets came along, they disrupted local markets in Main Street. And then you had Walmart come and disrupt the Kmarts and the ShopRites. Like, stuff's always changing.
Creative destruction, yeah.
It's what humans do. It's how the game is played. And so the question becomes, the real question is, are you gonna grab a surfboard and ride this wave? Or are you gonna put your head in the sand and let the wave kill you? And so I think it's pretty amazing because I think people are much more capable than they sometimes think of themselves. And I hope people see the AI thing as an opportunity versus the end.
So to go over some of Gary's points, he believes that AI will be a disruptor, like other technologies we've seen throughout history, like the tractor, and how that changed, agriculture, the internet, and how that changed, how we do business and communicate, social media, Netflix, and how that disrupted the video rental industry and, basically bringing down blockbusters. If you know that story, how Amazon disrupted, the book selling industry. And now ultimately it's a marketplace where you can buy anything you want. How Uber also has disrupted the transportation industry and taxi drivers, and even now food delivery. And, he made a lot of examples of how technologies have disrupted so many industries in the past. And he kind of sees AI in the same way that AI is not ultimately here to replace us or displace us and make us irrelevant as humans, but it's another technology that's going to be a disruptor and change the way the world works and how we do things. And, ultimately what's going to matter is your ability to adapt and adopt the technology. Those who are able to adapt and adopt AI are going to be the winners, and those who are not able to do that are going to be the losers. He also said that AI will undoubtedly replace some jobs, but we all have the opportunity to learn AI and discover how it can benefit us, right? So things are always changing, and that's another point that he makes. And if you look throughout life, he's correct. Things are always changing, and it's just the nature of life. And those that are able to accept and embrace the change and move with the times are ultimately going to be the winners. And those that resist the change will be the losers because AI is not going anywhere, right? It's here to stay. It's going to keep evolving. It's going to keep disrupting. And we all just have to accept that. But in the same way, Photoshop came along and changed the way design was done. Well, AI is going to do the same thing to a lot of industries, and this is a technology that's going to affect every industry. That's the difference with this one, right? But ultimately, those who learned Photoshop were the winners. Those who learned how to build websites back then during the time of the internet and bought domains and started putting their businesses online, they were the winners, right? Netflix was the winner. Amazon was the winner. Uber's winning, So these technologies didn't go nowhere. They just kept on evolving and getting bigger. So ultimately, it's not about complaining about it. It's about finding out how it can benefit you, okay? And those were Gary's thoughts, that we should see AI as an opportunity as opposed to doomsday and the end of everything. And for the most part, I agree with Gary, and I've been talking about, embracing AI and finding out how to make it benefit you, how to work with it so that it enhances what you're doing, right? But one thing that I must say is that AI is a disruptor in a magnitude that we've never seen before, right? While these other technologies previously have disrupted industries, I don't think we've ever seen it on the scale of what AI is about to do, right? Because those technologies, those previous technologies, the internet, social media, Netflix, and so on and so forth, the tractor still needed people to operate it, build it, maintain it, support it, and so on and so forth. With AI, we are basically building something that will ultimately be able to maintain itself and for the most part, do away with human intervention altogether. That's the concept of artificial superintelligence. That's ultimately where the innovators and brains and minds behind AI, that's where they're trying to take this technology to be self-sustaining so that it needs very little human intervention. And for me, that's the major difference between this technology and all the previous ones that Gary Vaynerchuk mentioned. Because while those disrupted industries, humans were still needed to work those technologies. Whereas with AI, what's scary about it and why most people are concerned is that this is something that ultimately, if the theories are right, if the predictions are right, will be able to operate itself and not need us. So when we get to that stage, and that's still probably many years away, right? But even if it's 20, 30, 40, 50 years away, if we ultimately get there, what does that mean for the future of human beings and the economy and how we sustain ourselves or the world as we know it right now? That's the major question, but I'm keen to know, as usual, I'm keen to know what you guys think about Gary's thoughts on AI and how it will impact the future of work and us as humans in general. Please let me know in the comment section.